12 by Lynn Melnick. When I was your age, I went to a banquet. When I was your age, I went to a bar room and bought cigarettes with quarters lifted from the laundry money. Last night I did all your laundry. I don't know why I thought this love could be pure. It's enough that it's infinite. I kiss your cheek when you sleep and wonder if you feel it. It's the same cheek I've kissed from the beginning. You don't have to like me. You just have to let me keep your body yours. It's mine. When I was your age, I went to a banquet and a man in a tux pinched my cheeks. When I was your age, I went to a bar room and a man in a band shirt pinched my ass. There is so much I don't know about you. Last night, I skipped a banquet so I could stay home and do your laundry and drink wine from my grandmother's glass. When I was your age, boys traded quarters for a claw at my carcass on a pleather bench while I missed the first few seconds of a song I'd hoped to record on my backseat boombox. When I was your age, I enjoyed a hook. You think I know nothing of metamorphosis, but when I was your age, I invented a key change. You don't have to know what I know. So, to get into the breakdown of this poem, the speaker is a mother speaking to her, what we can assume is her 12-year-old daughter due to the title of the poem. And the situation is she's sitting at home, she's reminiscing about the previous night of folding laundry. There are some interesting things that are happening in this poem, and I chose 4 that I was specifically going to talk about. First is the line breaks, next is the repetitions, the symbolism used, and the imagery. For the line breaks, the poem does a very interesting thing where the sentence and how it is formatted in the poem, where the line breaks are, changes completely the meaning of these lines. So the first example I have is the sentence, "Last night I did your laundry. I don't know why I thought this love could be pure. It's enough that it's infinite." If we read the poem using the line breaks and not by following the punctuation, the lines change to, "I did your laundry, I don't know why. I thought this love could be pure, it's enough." What changes here first is why she's doing this laundry. With the sentence, "Last night I did your laundry," it's stated as a fact, as a necessity, a task that needs to be done, while the line, "I did your laundry, I don't know why," changes the meaning of it to she's also confused on why she's doing this instead of the solidity that comes with the sentence. It also changes how this love is perceived. The first line, "I don't know why I thought this love could be pure. It's enough that it's infinite," shows that she has an expectation for this love that she has for her daughter, versus the "I thought this love could be pure, it's enough," means that the love between the two of them is never ending. It is infinite, but it also is changing the expectation that she has on the love. Another great example of the sentence versus the line break is, "You don't have to like me, you just have to let me keep your body yours. It's mine." With the line breaks, it changes to, "You don't have to like me. You just have to let me keep your body yours. It's mine." So there's an added emphasis here where the sentence is the line break, which means that she really wants us to pay attention to, "You don't have to like me." This expectation she is not placing on her daughter at all, that there is nothing that she needs back from her daughter, and that it is a love that she has for her that's never ending. But in the line break, to change it to, "You just have to let me," changes the meaning to the expectation of herself. You just have to let me love you. You have to let me care about you and take care of you. And I don't necessarily need that back from you. Keep your body yours. It's mine. Meaning protect it. Take care of it. But also the possession and the protectiveness that she has over her daughter's body. Mothers give birth to their daughters, to their children, and so for her it's always been hers from the beginning of time. This is also mirrored in the line previous to these lines, "It's the same cheek I've kissed from the beginning." The next interesting thing she does in this poem is a lot of repetition. "When I was your age" is repeated multiple times at the beginning of the poem and at the end of the poem. This is both a musing and an invitation to her daughter to understand her, an attempt to relate to her 12-year-old daughter who is most likely embarrassed by her mother. We also see the phrase, "When I was your age, I went to a banquet. When I was your age, I went to a bar room." So what's interesting here is that it's two different places that she's talking about, which I'll speak about in the symbolism, but also that these were two different spaces that she occupied that she is thinking about in relation to her daughter. A fancier place and not necessarily a fancy place. A banquet versus a bar room. This is also repeated at the beginning of the poem and at the end of the poem to see the path at which this poem takes in terms of when I was your age, I went to a banquet is the statement. And then when we see that phrase again, it is when I was your age, I went to a banquet and a man in a tux pinched my cheeks. We see banquet again when she mentions, last night I skipped a banquet, that she did not attend a place that had been important to her in her past, this change that is happening to her as a mother, as a woman. Next, in terms of symbols, the biggest symbol throughout the entire poem is laundry. The laundry is meant to signify a task, a never-ending task, a chore that is done mostly by women, mostly by mothers, and is meant to signify the love that this mother has for her daughter, that she would prefer to do her daughter's laundry instead of going to a banquet, to do an act of love rather than to go to a party or have fun. She's choosing her daughter. There's also the symbols of a banquet versus a bar room, and what I believe is to symbolize the ways that being 12 is perceived. In banquets, she mentions being a man in a tux pinched my cheeks versus a bar room where a man in a band shirt pinched my ass. That this age of being 12 is a hard time because people perceive you as a child or they perceive you as a sexual object. And this mother thinking about that transition and that hardship that happens to young girls, which leads right into some of the imagery that's within the poem. Some of the most interesting is, last night I skipped a banquet so I could stay home and do your laundry and drink wine from my grandmother's glass. This sets the scene really beautifully. The choice to do laundry and the way that it connects her to the women that are before her, her grandmother with the glass, her mother, and the way that her mother did laundry with the speaker of the poem stealing quarters for going out. Finally, there is some beautiful imagery about music. When I was your age, I enjoyed a hook. You think I know nothing of metamorphosis, but when I was your age, I invented a keychain. Also, the mention of a boombox, of listening to music, is very interesting as it points to this change that has happened within her and her life, and the past versions of herself being different and possibly closer to her daughter than she thinks it is.